Tecmo Bowl.
February 1989 in North America and November 1990 in Japan. It is worth reiterating to me that this kind of shows how far ahead Sega was at the time because Altered Beast from last week's Spotlight was a whole year before this. And it does look like a next gen system comparatively, but Nintendo just had the fun factor and brand recognition going for them, and that's why Sega just kinda didn't get the ball rolling as much, so gameplay over graphics, the age-old debate. Anyway, Super Bowl Tecmo Bowl, not Techno Super Bowl. First console game to include the real NFL players via the licensing. There's no teams, but we've got the player names, so that's pretty cool. I thought the coach mode was a unique idea. I kinda like that as someone who's not really into football games. It made it seem more like you could almost, like, gamble on the game. As a matter of fact, in college, when my friends would play Madden, whoever wasn't in the game, I would gamble on the game with them like it was a real football game. Anyway, another interesting fact, there's only 9 players on the field per team instead of the standard 11. Um, I don't know, I came away from this just feeling like football games don't really appeal to me, and I think I narrowed it down, there's too many players. Like, hockey or a basketball or a soccer game, it's like 5 on 5. Tennis, golf, very focused. Baseball has a similar problem, there's a lot of players, but it always seems like it's more clear where you should be focusing. You know, the ball kind of directs you to who you should be paying attention to. But with football, football's like designed to be visually confusing. You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to be able to follow the ball. That's how you get it past the other team. So, I don't know. As someone who's not very into sports, football's kind of a barrier for me.
Well, I'll just add on to that and say that Tecmo Bowl is 9 on 9 opposed to like 11 on 11. And if you can get into the mindset of when these games came out, Tecmo Bowl 89, Tecmo Super Bowl 91, having 18 sprites, 18 assets moving around on your screen is pretty impressive at the time because they could have done 7 on 7, something like that. But having that many moving parts for a game that old uh, deserves credit. It did become extremely popular, and outside of like big games like Super Mario Brothers, this has to be one of the biggest cult following games that we've reviewed because
Mhm.
Super Tecmo Super Bowl has been. I was looking on the website. They do every NFL season. There's a new port with new lineups. They do NCAA. People stream Tecmo Super Bowl still. They do whole
I
gameplay
think
series on it.
I think I've heard that people do that for NHL 94 on Sega Genesis as well, which we'll never be talking about on here, but
I
that's another
wish.
one that's lasted.
Man, I wish we had that. Yeah, NHL
Yeah.
'94, NFL 2005. There's like these NBA 2011, NBA 2014. Yeah, there's like certain years that stand out where they just
Mhm.
remake those years. So it became popular as arcade. It was a four-player
Yeah.
arcade game, which
It was a two-screen.
is super cool. Became very successful on the NES, and I do know people that say Tecmo Super Bowl is one of the most complete NES games because Tecmo Super Bowl really just does everything Tecmo Bowl does, just better.
It
So
does it
if you,
more because the arcade game didn't have the licensing.
yeah.
So the arcade game, you were just 2 generic teams. I don't know if you knew that.
So So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play, I mean, if you're only gonna play one, I'd play Tecmo Super Bowl. But this is a very, very important game, and I guess I'll just kinda sum it up with saying this is not a game I have nostalgia for, and, it's not a game that I really enjoy playing that much. I'm very impressed by the level of cohesiveness, again, if you're looking at it through the lens of when it was. Like, yes, there are only 4 plays per team, but that's still 4 plays per team for 12 teams, which is like 48, and it's still quite a lot of content and ideas that they put into a game where there's just not a lot of room. So, yeah, the coach mode is cool because, in the future, we have future coach modes, we have franchise, we have dynasty, and I always thought those, game modes were very cool because it requires you to do a different strategy. It's like playing a football game, but, as like a turn-based RPG almost.
Mhm.
So I always thought that was really cool. So for me, this is 100 on my list. I'm putting it below
Okay.
NES Baseball, and then with some other NES sports games, I just happen to like NES Baseball more. Perspective also is very important for me. I grew up playing John Elway football for the NES, which is a horrible game. But I grew up playing it, so I love it. And it does have like you're like above and behind your team, much like how you'd be in Madden. So I'm not a fan of I never understood why they chose the from the sideline view. I guess because you're going left and right, like a
Mhm.
platformer, but never really got that. How about you?
Yeah, I was worried how low I ranked it at first, but, not as far off as I thought, so because like I said, footballs, video games, not don't gel with me very well. I ranked it at 121, which, believe it or not, we've done so many games, isn't totally bad. It's right above NES Golf, and because I would rather play this than NES Golf, but I would rather play above it is, Sega Genesis Earthworm Jim. So, that's the neighborhood this game's gonna live in for now.
If you like this game, it's nostalgic to you and you play it, that's cool. I really have nothing bad to say about this game other than it's not a game that I enjoy playing or I grew up playing. So that's it.
Mhm.
So that's it. I have so much respect for this game, honestly, especially with just how American football games are now. I totally get if people are just dying to find something to play football with. I totally get it. So it is what it is. All right. So I'd recommend it. I recommend it to anyone who likes football and learn the history of this crazy nostalgic
One Up
cult
Arcade
following
needs to put
game.
out the arcade machine. I know they did NFL Blitz, so maybe they're afraid, but yeah, do that.